Hey, hey, Mama said the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. What? Well, it's always good to have a little Led Zeppelin before showtime. I mean, there wasn't a soul in the building this morning. When I got here, you could hear Led Zeppelin out in the parking lot. Yes, sir. Monday, Led Zeppelin. I mean, come on. How can you go wrong? Okay. Are we... Oh, I see the red light is already on, all right? Roxanne, you don't have to put on that red light. Roxanne. Maybe a little more warning next time? All right. All right. It's already warming up out there. Heck, it was already in the upper 60s when I headed out of the house this morning. And, it was still dark out and everything. Man, it's been brutal the last couple of days. Been just hot. Can't even get the window open till like 5, 6 in the morning. I mean, it was so hot this weekend, you could even taste the heat. You know what I mean? It's like, hot town, summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirt and gritty. Been down, isn't it a pity? Doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city. All right, enough clowning around, Andy. All right, good morning. It is Monday, July 14th, on a sunny and warm Monday morning. But hey, don't let those warm temperatures and sunny skies lull you into a false sense of security. Looks like we got rain moving in late this evening, and the weather guy is saying tomorrow it's supposed to be like 100% chance, so I'd say that's a pretty good chance of rain. 100% is pretty good, all right? Throughout western Montana and central Montana. And we certainly need it, don't we, Andy? I mean, come on. It's like, let it rain. Yeah, let it rain. Let it rain. Boom, 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 boom. Before we get any further on this Monday morning, remember to give this podcast a like. It's right over here. The thumbs up, thumbs down. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know I'm doing a good job. No thumbs down. Don't be like Caligula. All right? And over here on this side, there's the subscribe button, the little oblong button that says subscribe. If you hit that subscribe button, you'll be notified of any and all new content. And you'll have a chance to win some fabulous prizes and participate in our daily polls. Andy, do we have a daily poll up this morning? We do not. Then why am I telling people they can participate in a daily poll if you don't even have it up? All right, where's my prop for this morning? And this morning's podcast is brought to you in part each and every Monday morning by our good friends down at the Great Falls Gazette. Locally owned, locally operated. It's your only source for local news. It's reported by people who actually live in your community. Let's see, on the cover, it seems like we have failed once again to make the front page the cover of the Great Falls Gazette. But if I ever do, Andy, hit it. Gonna buy 5 copies for my mother. Hey, gonna see my smiling face on the cover of the Great Falls Gazette. Oh yeah, we're gonna probably make it on the back here for wanted for a criminally insane podcast. Yep, but on the back here, we've got your Crime Stoppers, America's Most Wanted. They're running from the law, all four of them. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. And keep your eye. All right, enough of that stuff. All right, that's it. The Crime Stoppers, unsolved crimes. Yeah, there's rewards. There's a bond here, reward there. Yeah. So, nobody on the back page, though, of their Crime Stoppers or anyone else. There's rewards. You can call Crime Stoppers. It pales in comparison to the reward of $100,000. Well, that's a lot of dinero, Andy. A lot of cash, a lot of moolah, a lot of bucks, man. And that's what the reward is for any and all information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for the death of Mike Evans of Great Falls, Montana. This happened just over 3 years ago, February 14th, 2022. Yeah, Valentine's Day, like I said, 3 years ago. On that day in particular, okay, on about what, Andy? You got this information up. I got it right here. It says about 5:20 p.m., Cascade County Sheriffs, they responded to the Old Bar S Supper Club. Is that just east of Great Falls? Yeah, it's just between here and Belt, isn't it? Right. I say the Old Bar S. At the time, it was in business. They were, like I said, dispatched to the supper club 5:20 in the afternoon, and they found Mike Evans deceased there in front of the restaurant. After an autopsy was performed at the crime lab in Missoula, it was determined that Michael's death was a homicide at 40 years old. What a tragedy. What a tragedy. 40 years old. Can you... Well, he was part of the family business out there. Everybody I've talked to, and I've talked to quite a few people on Messenger, and actually talked to people on the phone. I talked to so-and-so. I talked about 6, 7 people before I got this going. Everybody says that he's was a big part of the restaurant. He worked hard, was a hard worker. He wanted the business to succeed. Everybody says that he was such a great guy. Had a big laugh that you couldn't miss. From what I've been told that back when I was drinking, I've been sober almost 6 years now. I'll be 6 years in September, Andy. Glad you asked. I've been told that I knew him. I drank in the bars with him. But for the life of me, I can't remember. Go figure. Back when I was drinking, I can't remember anything. But, everybody, the big laugh, that you couldn't miss it. Either you loved it or you didn't so much. It was just this laugh that just came just out of nowhere. He graduated from Great Falls High Bison in 1999. I hear he was a member of the Delphian choir? Man, he could sing. I mean, the guy had pipes if you're in the choir. I mean, come on. Oh, yeah, I wasn't no in choir, as you all know from listening to the podcast. I can't hold a note. I can't carry a tune. All right. So, anyway, we got this investigation. It has been ongoing. It was ongoing. It still is ongoing. And like I say, now we're to the point where it's $100,000. Okay? $100,000 for a reward. I guess it came from several sources that have been confirmed. The money's there. Okay? $100,000. Now, I tried to talk to detectives about this. I've tried to talk to officers and, the sheriff's department, other people that were involved with the sheriff's department at that time. I kind of knew what the answer was going to be when I got a hold of law enforcement. Basically, it's an ongoing investigation. And they really, really, really couldn't share a whole lot with me that isn't already public knowledge. Okay, we all know that Mike died. We all know that he died in the afternoon of Valentine's Day. We all know that he died out there at the bar, Old Bar F. Sheriff Jesse Slaughter and the Cascade Sheriff's Office have come out with a few statements. Originally, when it first happened back in 2022, that it was an isolated incident and the public wasn't at risk. Well, that tells you a whole lot right there. When they say that, when they say, well, you can bet your bottom dollar if it was a homicidal maniac serial killer, they wouldn't be saying it was an isolated risk and the public was, an isolated. They'd be saying, run for your life. That's what they'd be saying. Later, they said that it happened in the county. No statements are going to be coming from Great Falls Police Law Enforcement. It's all been assigned to the county. It happened in the county. The county's in charge of it. Detectives later said after it was an isolated incident and we didn't have anything to worry about, that they have identified person or persons of interest in the case, and then they went on further to say that these individuals at this time are still living in our community. They didn't say if it was in the Cascade County or if the Great Falls community, but that's what they said. So when law enforcement makes these kind of statements, when they make those statements, it tells us that they pretty much know who committed the crime, but all they have is circumstantial evidence, evidence they can't use, like hearsay or she said this, that he said that, okay? That's what that generally means, okay? When they're telling us it's an isolated incident, you don't have to be worried. That means it's not a serial killer, it's not Criminal Minds guy killing Jack the Ripper and all that. Okay, they tell us this, that it was a crime. They know it was a crime, maybe of passion, of anger. They know kind of the circumstances. And when they say that they've already identified, like I said, they just, right, it's he said, she said, we don't know. So my opinion on this is, okay, so we know where law enforcement's happening. We have a death. We know who died. We know where they died. Okay? We know that the person that committed the crime is not a threat to the public at large, which means that the target was the intended victim. Okay? Law enforcement doesn't believe that this would be, a spree killing, a killing that was, for no reason, just a stranger. Right. So that's where we're sitting right now with the law enforcement. However, there's more to the story than that. Okay? It's not too hard if you're an amateur detective and you have access to Facebook and social media. It's all pretty much out there. You know how it is this day and age. We have bad drivers pages. We have bad parkers pages. We have dogs. We have this. We have that. So there's stuff out there. There's stuff out there. Quick search bar. Right, there's stuff out there. It's no secret. It's common knowledge on Facebook, social media. Certain individuals had some problems. Certain individuals had conflicts, let us say differences in attitudes, latitudes, and lifestyles. According to social media, again, you can't believe everything that you see on social media. In fact, you can't believe pretty much anything that you see on social media. I've seen people post stuff that is not true, and they're just posting it away. But anyway, according to social media, like I was saying, and a few folks that I've talked to in this phone messages, right? The perpetrator's out there and has been called out by name by several people online, in public, everywhere. So, what? No, I am not going to call out people by name. I don't have any proof. It's all he said, she said. But I'm going to say, people that I talk to, there's names out there. If you go to Facebook and social media, there's names right there on Facebook. Okay? A quick search, like I said, that search bar when you're on Facebook, and there's like that little magnifying glass search bar, and you hit it and you search. Put in Mike Evans, Great Falls. Search. Really, really, really interesting stuff comes up. Arguments, accusations, discussions, all sorts of stuff is out there. And they're naming names. People, like I said, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to sit there. I'm just watching it. You want to see the names, search Mike Evans, Great Falls Homicide, click on Facebook, and just scroll and read away. There's plenty of names. I mean, even Jesse Slaughter, even Sheriff Slaughter stated, we know you're out there. The longer this goes on, the more likely that all the individuals that are involved will be held accountable. In other words, if you know who did it, and you're not saying anything, but you know, and you're withholding evidence and impeding an investigation, then you can be charged right along with the perpetrator. $100,000 is a lot of money to just lay it on the table when you know that someone knows something. Heck, Andy, I knew in about an hour and a half of research. I knew in about an hour and a half of research on social media and finding some names and then searching their names, and I came up with, it's out there. It's out there, but again, though, it's all circumstantial. Someone's saying something and someone, is pointing their fingers at each other. Bottom line, people know. People know who, they know what, they know when, they know where, they know why and how. It's obvious to both law enforcement and the casual observer like me. I just Googled some stuff right here, and bam, here's it came up, and boom. The family deserves closure, okay? $100,000. $100,000 for the person that gives closure to the family right now. Heck, you need help? You need someone to hold your hand to go to the sheriff's department with you? PM me. We'll go together because this has gone on. Yeah, this has gone on long enough, If I could get on Facebook and social media and Instagram and find out all the players and the who's and the whys in an hour, law enforcement's got it too, but I don't know anything. I didn't find anything that would stand up in a court of law. No one said, yeah, I did it. Everybody's saying, yeah, that person did it. It's enough. I know you did it. Everybody else knows that you did it. Some of your so-called friends know that you did it. It's time for one of those friends in the know to step up, pass go, and collect $100,000. Man, how are we doing on time, Andy? We're doing all right? All right. Because last week, if you know anything about Mike Evans, call Crime Stoppers. Cash in. Cash in. Hell, call the Great Falls Gazette. They know how to get a hold of Crime Stoppers. Call me. I know how to get them. All right, last week. Last week was crazy, wasn't it? Last week we learned. What did we learn last week? We learned that the Justice Department and the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, found no evidence whatsoever that Jeffrey Epstein kept a client list of any kind, of any records, anyway. It wasn't in. How do you say I was on the island without exactly saying I was on the island? Come on. We've been promised this list for how long? Okay. Jeffrey's original conviction misdemeanor was how old? Both Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel had previously stated that there was, in fact, Epstein documentation. In fact, remember when Pam Bondi said the Epstein file is on my desk? What? Biden's dog ate her homework? They're actually really trying to tell us. They're really saying it didn't happen. I mean, they've gone from the arrest, and there's a list and all these people, and what about the settlements and stuff? What about Ghislaine Maxwell? She's doing time for what? She's 20 years in prison, and the client list was used against her. So how does that work that people are being imprisoned for it, but it doesn't exist? I'm puzzled, Andy. I mean, it's like one minute we saw it, and 1 minute it's like, here's the client list. Oh, no, it isn't. It's like a whoop, whoop. It's a little trick. Now, you see it? No, you didn't. And did you see the edited footage that they released from the jail where Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, supposedly committed suicide? Jeffrey didn't kill himself! Excuse me. 20 minutes of lost footage. Cameras that were 20 minutes that when the cameras went down, then they found the cameras. They weren't broke after all, and we had the footage, and it was found, and if you watch it, it's a different time of day. It's like the shadows are different, the colors are reflecting different, because, it's not even it's like, this is the lost footage, and you're like, seriously? It's not even the same place. Trump, Clinton, Kevin Spacey, Prince Andrew, they're all over the flight logs. They're all over the Epstein flight logs, okay? Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, they lived what? Block apart? Block apart. Not even that, Andy, not even a block apart. We're inseparable for around 15, 16 years. They were sued. They were even sued together by Jane Doe 17 in 2016. Look it up. That pictures, documentation, videos of them together. I mean, there's piles and piles. The documentation that Trump and Epstein were partners, there's piles and piles and piles of evidence. See the press conference last week where a reporter asked Pam Bondi about the Epstein tapes, and Trump just interrupted, angry, denying, we're still talking about that after all these years. It's the dead issue. Why are we still talking that? Why? It's like, well, because you said you were going to release them as a campaign promise, and now they don't exist. Over the weekend, President Trump posted on Truth Social that the Epstein client list isn't real, that it was just made up by Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and some others. They just made it up. All I know is this, that if the whole world was questioning my values and my morals, were accusing me of being a pedophile, and I had the documentation to prove my innocence by just releasing some documents, I'd release those in a New York minute, unless I was on the list. I mean, if Trump wasn't on the list, he would have released the Epstein files in a leather gold embossed binder, hand signed by Trump, with audiobook read by Gary Busey. And you know it, and I know it. The only reason we all know, we've known for how many years? How many years have we known the names on the flight log? And the flight log is the people that were on the island. They didn't roll a rowboat. They didn't take a slow boat from China. They didn't ride a bike. They flew to the island. And we've always known who's flown to the island. And we've always known how many times. Yes, sir, we all know. Boy, if I wasn't on that list, I'd be releasing that shit now. I'd be proving by, see, I told you. Yeah, man. Oh, boy, I tell you. All right, it is All-Star Week. Yes, sir. And the Detroit Tigers, yes, sir, yeah, the Detroit Tigers still have the best record in Major League Baseball. Pretty much have had it from start all the way here to the All-Star break. All-Star game is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Throw it up there. Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock on Fox will be, I get around, sit around, watch. Andy, you're giving me that wheels in the sky, keep on turning sign. So, it's no mystery about Mike Evans, is it? Really not. I hope after this podcast, after you watch this podcast, you'll take it on yourself to Google him and find out exactly who did it. And maybe if we put enough pressure on those people, that is common knowledge, we'll get a resolution. All right? All right, spay and neuter. Adopt, don't shop, foster, rescue, volunteer, and hey, adopt a shelter pet today. Until next Monday, let's get that $100,000. We'll see you next week.